Hi friends, today we're going to look at solving equations that involve squaring a variable. So last week we talked about square roots, and the information from last week that's going to help us is how do you get rid of that square on a variable? And we talked about the inverse operation of square rooting. I'm going to be using my calculator today to do some of these problems because not all the numbers are perfect squares, meaning they don't have a nice square root. So what I'm going to do is I'll make a video showing how I can use Google to find square roots in case you don't have a calculator or you don't have a tablet or phone that has that option available. So I'll make that video that'll come after this for that purpose. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the first problem that says x squared equals 49. So I'm looking for a variable that when I square it, I equal 49. You're probably thinking to yourself, oh, 7 works, -7 works, and in that thinking, you would be correct. We're going to show how you would show your work and show that the answer is 7 and -7. So the first thing I would do, solving an equation, I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign to remind myself I need balance. And then I want to think, okay, how do I get rid of squaring? And last week we talked about that if I square root a square, that the square root and the square will cancel out, leaving me with x. So I would have x left over here. Now, if I square root on the left, I also have to square root on the right. So I'm going to square root 49. Now, I have to be really careful. Solving equations is a little different. I know that this is talking about the positive root, but because we're solving an equation, it's actually always going to refer to both roots. And I know that's a little contrary to what we've talked about in the past. So if I square root 49, that answer is 7. 7 times 7 makes 49. But I'm going to include both the positive and the -7. So when we are solving an equation, we want to include both. So x equals plus or minus 7. Positive 7 squared makes 49. -7 times -7 makes 49. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. Y squared equals 25. Same idea. I'm going to draw my line. I want to undo the square, which means I have to square root, cancel, cancel, square root the right. Y equals square root of 25 is 5. Because I'm solving an equation, I want both answers, positive and -5. Number 3, b squared equals 40. 40 is not a nice perfect square, but my pattern stays the same, or my process. Square root, cancel, cancel, square root. Now this is where I'm going to have to jump to my calculator because I don't know the square root of 40 offhand. I do know on the left I end up with b, and on the right, I'm going to show 2 ways real quick. I'm going to grab my calculator, and I'm looking for that square root sign. So on mine, it's right here. So I'm going to access that. So I have square root, and then I'm going to put in 40. 6.324. I'm going to typically round probably 1 or 2 decimal places. So I'm going to put 6.32 here. And again, I'm going to include my plus and my minus on that. Now, let's say I didn't have a calculator. What I can do, and I'm going to make the video for this, in Google or in Google, in the search bar, I'm going to type this, SQRT, can be lowercase, and then a parenthesis and the number 40. And if I do that, it's going to give me the answer 6.32. And I'll make a video showing how you can use Google to help find the square roots of numbers. All right, 2 more examples real quick. Let's look at 4. Remember, you can stop and rewind if you need to just go through something again. Here I have 2 parts. This is actually a multi-step equation. We're going to draw a line, and we're going to put a box around the variable term. First thing I want to do is undo the subtracting 10. So we're going to add 10 on both sides. Oh, add 10. That's going to give us, I was a little ahead of myself on that one. It's going to give me 81. And then I'm going to bring down the c squared. Now it looks like a problem we just did. Next is to get rid of the square. So we square root, cancel, cancel. I'm left with c equals, And 81 is a nice number, so I'm going to do square root of 81, which is 9. And because I'm solving, I want both, plus or minus 9. And that'd be my solution there. Number 5. Line down the equal sign. Box. Undo plus 6, so I take away 6, take away 6. That gives me m squared equals 64. Square root, cancel, cancel. M equals 8, plus or minus. And that is how we can solve equations that involve squares on the variable. Hope this helps.